Hi, I am Bree and I am cooking through my grandma's recipes box that she gave me. And today I am cooking Daddy's Biscuits recipe. I do have a dishwasher running. I'm hoping that's not too loud. So if you hear that noise, it's the dishwasher. Okay, the first ingredient is 2 cups of self-rising flour. I don't have that, so I had to make it. And my grandma wrote on the back the recipe to make it, so I'm guessing she didn't have it either. It's 2 cups of all-purpose flour mixed with 3 teaspoons of baking powder and a ½ teaspoon of salt. And that's how you can make self-rising flour. If you need to adjust this for 1 cup, just adjust the measurements. To this, you need to add 4 teaspoons of vegetable shortening. I just went to the store and bought this because I don't typically use this. It doesn't say vegetable shortening, it just says shortening, so that's what I'm using. And I've never seen her actually use the tablespoon measurements. I've only seen her use this tablespoon. That's what you would call a tablespoon, so that's what I'm gonna do. Right now I'm cutting it in using my fingers. It's very soft. If I had butter when I'm making biscuits, I would worry about melting it because it would be really cold, but it's already room temperature, so I'm not really concerned about that. It says to mix this into like coarse little balls, so that's what I'm trying to do with my hands.
Coarse little balls there.
So I'm gonna call that good. And then it says to stir in buttermilk to make it a soft dough, or until dough comes together and leaves sides of bowl. So I didn't have buttermilk either, so I had to pour milk in and put some lemon juice in here to make buttermilk. That came together really quickly. Alright, now it says to turn this out onto a floured surface to make biscuits. Okay, so I'm gonna flour. It says lightly floured, so that's good enough for me. And spread it all out. Make it lightly floured. Okay, I have to knead this 3 or 4 times into its a smooth consistency. And then I have to press it down to a ½ inch, which I'm not going to get a ruler out. I'm going to call it good when I think it's good. You could do this with a rolling pin, but then you have to wash a rolling pin, so I'm not going to do that. Who wants to wash another thing? That's about a ½ inch. And then with the biscuit cutter, you cut them. You can use a cup or a biscuit cutter, whichever one you have. Okay, so I have a biscuit cutter. Let's put some flour on that. All right, and we're just going to cut that out beforehand. We need to spray the pan. Last thing we want to do is have biscuits stuck to this. Preheat the oven to 450 degrees. Alright, so if you want a crispy biscuit, put them far apart. If you want them soft, put them close together on the pan. We got 12 on here. Okay, I'm gonna bake these for 8 to 10 minutes. I put them close together because I want the edges to be soft. If you want the edges to be crispy, spread them apart. I'll be back with you after I bake them. Since I'm making biscuits, I decided to go ahead and make some sausage gravy to go with the biscuits. This is something Grandma would make all the time to go with biscuits. She would also make eggs, so I'll probably make some scrambled eggs to go along with that for breakfast as well. First, to make gravy, you're gonna have to brown some sausage, which is what I'm doing right now. As soon as that is done, I'll use the fat from the sausage to make the gravy. So as soon as I get the sausage all the way brown, I'll take the sausage out and then I'll start making the gravy. So I'll be back with you in just a second. I'm just removing the sausage now because it's all nice and browned, but not the fat. Or the juice, as my daughter likes to call it. And you can see a little bit of fat in there. I don't really have a lot of grease in there from the meat, so I'm going to put a little bit of butter in there just to make more gravy. You can use any kind of fat you want. You could use bacon grease, you can use butter. Butter was just the quickest option for me today. Okay, so then you want to put flour in there. Just enough flour to absorb all of the grease. And I'm going to turn that down because it's really high. If it still looks liquidy, we're going to put a little bit more in there. It should look like a paste almost. So like this. Then we got all of the grease absorbed. Cook it out just for like a few seconds. And then we're going to start putting milk in slowly. So we don't have lumpy gravy. We're going to have to keep mixing this. Or try not to make a mess like I did. It's not like you need 4 cups of milk to this amount of flour. You're going to just have to eyeball it. Now this will take more and more milk because it's not ready. You'll be like, this is really thick. You'll need to water it down with more milk. But I just want to get all my lumps out first before I add more milk to it. And make it nice and smooth. And some of those lumps are from the sausage that I left in the pan. you can see what happens when I actually do it slowly. You won't get actually lumps. And once you have the smoother gravy, you can then dump all of the milk in there. Now, as to the color, if you wanted a deeper color, you would have had to brown your meat a little more to get a deeper color gravy. You want a lighter color gravy, you don't brown your meat as much. Okay, so now we got it, the consistency we want. Looks really runny right now. Then we're gonna keep stirring it until it gets thick again. And then at the end, we're gonna put salt and pepper in it to our taste. So we're gonna taste it. We're gonna see how much salt and pepper it needs, and we're gonna put it in there. It depends on how much salt and pepper was in the meat, as how much seasoning is actually going to need. So you want to keep this on medium to low. Depends on how much stirring you want to do. I go up to like medium high heat, but no higher, because otherwise it's going to be burnt gravy, and that's not going to taste very good. And if you don't stir it constantly, all the stuff is going to stick to the bottom of the pan, and it's going to be a burnt mess on the bottom. So you got to keep the liquid moving constantly on the gravy. Now we have wonderful looking biscuits. Can't wait to eat those. Okay, the gravy is getting pretty thick now. You can see on the spoon how thick it is, but the pan, you can feel it. So that means it's time to taste it and then see what seasoning it needs. So it's going to need a lot of pepper. And a lot of salt. I'm going to mix all that in. Taste it again. More pepper. I have to be careful because I have kids that eat this. They don't like things too peppery, so sometimes I have to put more pepper at the table. All right, and then I can add all my sausage back in. And then we have sausage gravy all ready to go. Ready for our little biscuits. And then because I have kids that want eggs, I have to mix eggs real quick. Those won't take any time. To make. Probably time I make plates, they'll be ready for eggs. And I can turn this off, get this all ready to go. So we're gonna have biscuit. They are nice and flaky like we want them. Gonna put some gravy over it. Go ahead and try them. Oh, they're really, really good. They're so good, I was just going to eat the whole plate. They're nice and flaky biscuits. They're amazing. I think next time I would actually make them thicker when I roll them out, not roll them out to like a ½ inch. I can make them maybe an inch thicker and then make them so that they rise a little thicker.